And I know that it was pretty cool results in the end. I know I got a message from Ryan Warner over at Rebel Resource getting second.
Finally, after grinding 3 PQs over 2 sets, I finally got my World's Invite, and here's how I did it. So here's the list that I used to get second place at the St. Paul Dreamers Vault Planetary Qualifier. Huge shout out to the tournament organizers there. They did a great job. Ron Longy was there. And I also got to see Xander. I met Danny. It was great to just see all different types of people come together to play Star Wars Unlimited at a PQ. They were playing Twin Suns in the back. Huge shout out to Loopy from Late Night Gaming. I actually have your stuff in my basement still, dude. Come and get it. It's in my basement. He said he was going to come get it. So time is ticking. I got all of his streaming equipment in my basement. It was a really fun day. And I was falling asleep by round 4. And it was pretty crazy because one of my opponents, I think in round 2, ended up getting a deck check with me, and they had 9 cards in their sideboard instead of 10. And they submitted a deck list of 10, so they got an immediate game loss. It felt really bad for the person that happened to, but they played really well and actually went to game 3. I played so many green Yodas and I had to chew through so many Bright Hopes and Concord Dons, but I'm finally happy to say that Yellow Sabine now obtained a World's Invite, which is really the only prize that matters in my mind. So very happy about that. I ended up losing to Cody. Cody, I got to work on my biceps, buddy, because that dude's got some huge biceps. And he's also got some huge skills in Star Wars Unlimited because he completely cooked me. Not gonna lie, bro, you know how to draw them cunnings. But it was very fun. Got to meet a lot of you. I gave away a bunch of stuff. I gave away cards. The person who got the game loss, it was their first PQ. I ended up giving them one of my Tranquility promos because, if it's my first tournament, I'm new to TCGs, man, what an awful way to start that out. So just really wanted to make sure everyone that was there, that was new to this space, got a good experience. And got to talk to a bunch of people, met some of my Patreons there. So thanks so much for coming and shouting. Cam, what's up? And Jax as well. Jax is a longtime friend in the community. So let's dig into the deck list and kind of dig into why, and I'll put the link in here, why I built my deck this way. Oh boy, is this even going to work? Okay. So DB, what's going on? Maybe I should just save it as an image. Let's just save it. Yeah, let's do that. And let's open it. Okay. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to kind of talk through my list because some of you might look at my list and be like, what is going on with this deck? And it's very finely tuned. So Wolfpack Escort is in here to basically help us bounce our own units for recursion. For example, you can bounce Leia, you can reset the shield with L3, you can bounce Fleet and play it with sneak attack later. So you attack with it, bounce it, play it with sneak, get an extra 5 damage. Very good. You can bounce Plo Koon to replay it if necessary. It's also really good at the Spec Force soldiers in the sideboard, which is mainly for the Sentinel matchups like Bright Hopes against Green Sabine, or to even go wide against Han. I'll bring these in. These are also really good against Han Solo Yellow because that deck, and I'll put my stream in the chat below, linking to Loopy's channel, Late Night Gaming, where I played my matches in the finals there. In game 2, I completely blitzed space and was able to sneak a win out there. I got one Heroic Sacrifice largely because I was playing an upgrade here before, and I kind of wish I had it. I had this upgrade again, but the reason why I had the Ahsoka Saber in here and I took it out, you might think that card is crazy, but I'm telling you, you need to maximize your 4 cause numbers in this deck. It is absolutely pivotal to burning your opponent. This deck has a blitz factor that Green Sabine doesn't have. And then the 4 causes kind of marries with the blitz factor of the deck. Heroic Sacrifice is very strong because it allows us to card draw, synergizes with sneak attack, and it action cheats. And I realized at the end of the day, Ahsoka Saber was great, but I really just wanted another action cheat against Jango, and Heroic Sac fits that perfectly. Cartel Turncoat because it's a 2/3 for 1 in space, helps you flood the board against all those decks, dodges Quinlan ping for the most part if they're not playing 1-drops. It's very good. Heroic Resolve to help push through Sentinels, kind of get a bunch of damage in. I won game 3 against a green Sabine because I had a heroic resolve on a wing leadered A-wing, which does 9 damage in one action, and they just folded. They said, I have no way to stop it. I can't even play Sentinel. I could kill you this turn, but you literally have a 1-action win by hitting for 9 damage. So that card is completely insane. If your opponent doesn't have an answer, it is going to push for a lot of damage, and it gives it overwhelm. So it also is a Sentinel killer. There were some games where I would actually play A-wing, then wing leader, and then they would get a Bright Hope out. And then I would play Heroic Resolve, attack for 6 with the A-wing, and then the next turn, the A-wing can kill another Bright Hope or attack for 9 with Overwhelm, which is crazy. Sneak Attack is a one of here. You don't want to draw too many of these in the main deck, and you also want to keep your 4 cause numbers pretty high. But this card is really good by helping cheat out Fleet Lieutenants, K2s, and also Wing Leaders, because Wing Leader's kind of a dirtle unit. Sometimes you can sneak it in. So on the 4 resource turn, you can play like an A-wing and then a sneak attack wing leader on your Sabine and just kind of push a lot of damage really fast and prevent yourself from having awkward turns where you kind of waste resources. Sneak attack can kind of fill the gap there. And I have a second copy in the sideboard for the matchups I want to go faster, which is Jango, Quinlan, Han, Kira, ECL is another matchup I just want to blitz as fast as possible. I have 1 Alliance X-Wing. I had 2 in the deck, but the way I deck build is a bit different. I have a town hall in my Patreon that I talk about my deck building, but by and large, Alliance X-Wing is my 4th copy of A-Wing. That's how I view it in the deck. I don't think of it as a one of, I think of it as a 4th copy. And that is a deck building concept you should all start using in your deck building. Don't view cards as one ofs all the time when they fulfill the same criterion as something like A-Wing being a 3 toughness rebel ship. It's a 4th copy of that card, functionally in the deck of what I'm trying to achieve. Surprise Strike, I don't know if I need to say anything there. Leia, super good against Han. I was expecting to see a lot of Han green and yellow. I saw 1 in the finals. So I had it, never drew the Leia in a single game. We would have loved it to tap my opponent down and present a threat for a Surprise Strike body, but never happened. I got a Sabine here because Sabine's just amazing. Her aspect ability is online in this deck very often with all these 1-drops, and her leader being a red card means that on the 3rd turn, we often have a 1-cost yellow, and then the Sabine leader becomes the red card, and we kind of have that protection built into the Sabine unit. A-Wing, because it's still arguably the best, hero turn 1 play in the game, even in set 4 likely. I think it might still be. Excuse me. Bamboozle, because Bamboozle's amazing right now. It's just really good and against a lot of decks. Good against Han, good against Cunning, good against Triple Dark Raid. Same for Leia, good against Triple Dark Raid decks. L3. This card is, I don't really care about the smuggle. It is a 2-cost shielded unit that's hero. That's all I care about. Gets around the ping decks, so Jango can't kill my turn 1 play consistently with the ISB agent into Tarkin Town, or they can ISB agent Daring Raid, which is annoying, but that's 2 cards for 1, and I'm okay with that. And it's just really good against Quinlan as well, and then you can resource it against every other deck. And it has Smuggle, it's good against Cad Bane, which I've played a lot of games online where it's just completely stolen games by rescuing a Falcon. And then the Falcon enters play ready, so if you rescue a Falcon with L3, it actually comes back readied. Wing Leader, because it just is unfair and broken. Same with Fleet Lieutenant. For a cause, one of the best, if not the best burn card in the game still. And allowing to dig for the next one and chain them together is very good. Red 3 here because Red 3 is amazing. Kira to help look at my opponent's hand and name key cards. There was a couple games where it actually won me the game by essentially blanking their turn. The Valiant Assault Ship. I wish I would have had this in my last PQ, but it essentially, I wish I had this in my last PQ, but it essentially beats out Bright Hopes and Concordons, Ray decks, and Green Sabine can do nothing about it. K2SO, because K2SO is so powerful. It's just such a good card. It often presents checkmate because they don't have Waylay. If they don't have Waylay, they kill it, they die. It attacks, they die. It's just really good. Plo Koon to kill Bosk, to kill Han Solo, to kill Sentinels, to kill problematic units on the ground. Very, very strong unit and won me quite a few games as well. Now, the sideboard is a bit interesting. Shoot first to help trade against Han Yellow. Yes, Han Yellow. Also kills Concord Dawn with A-Wing, kills Bright Hope if you have wing leadered unit. Sneak attack, like I mentioned, for extra push. Spec Force to go wide, so you take the L3s out, pull the Spec Forces in most of those matchups, you need Spec Force. And against Han Yellow to just flood the board. Spark of Rebellion for hand hate against villain decks with OB. And then Darksaber. This was the secret spice, and I kid you not, you don't want it main deck. You do not want it main deck because Django cooks Darksaber. But every time I stuck this, I won some games, and I did some nasty things. with Darksaber. And I Darksabered a perilous positioned Sabine unit in my round 7 against Kira, ECL, made the Sabine a 4/4 with a ping effect still. Attacked for 5, did some real nasty stuff, and is able to eke out a win after Kira ECL already gained 12 plus life. So very, very strong deck. I have a town hall on my Patreon. I know some of my Patreons actually top 8'd with this deck. I believe one person did. And I finally got it to a finals, and I'm happy to retire the deck, maybe, for set 4. I'm no longer playing in any set 3 PQs, but this deck is very strong. It has game into every single deck, and I think is slightly favored at a minimum against every deck except for Han Green and Bosk Blue. Every other deck in the game, this deck is doing really well against, and I have no problems. And I've played it enough that, man, it just feels like so second nature. But I'm happy to see the meta shifting, and I don't think Yellow Sabine will have a home in set 4. I don't know, though. I don't know the full set. I haven't done enough testing. But I will say, if you're looking for competitive play, my Patreon is dedicated to providing tons and tons of resources. You can, even today in the Discord, somebody brought up a question about how to do threat assessment. We had a whole dialogue in there. So it's more than just deck lists. It's coaching. It's talking about the game. It is deck lists, but it's also how to play the deck, how to pilot the deck, and ask me or other Bothans questions. George actually threw in a new calculator on the new Nabat Village. I think it's Nabat Village base, and like what decks it would go into and why you'd play it. And so it's just a wealth of knowledge, and it's been a very, very great collaboration space. So if you're looking for a space, we currently have 62 paid members, and it's been a really, really fun time. And I will say, giving out my information, I've actually learned some from my Patreons, because at the end of the day, you don't know everything. Nobody does. No one is perfect at this game. And so this has been a really great community to actually learn from the player base and kind of collaborate together. So if you're looking for that, check that down below. If that's not for you, which it's okay, you don't have to want that, like, comment down below, and also join the Botha Network, where we have discussions about competitive play and talk about previews. It's just been a really fun time in that Discord. So that's completely free. And if that's not for you, I know YouTube is, because you're here watching this. So like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel. My channel has not grown, even though I have like 80% new viewers. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and talk to you soon. Peace.